Alright guys, so AEW All in London at Wembley Stadium is officially in the books, and I could confidently say that that was a fantastic show. And listen, I'm not trying to glaze up AEW or nothing, but like, people had their doubts about them selling out this show. I was one of those people. And they managed to fill up 81,000 seats at Wembley Stadium, the most attended wrestling show in history. A feat that should not be glanced over at all. It should be applauded. For a company that's only been in the business for 4 years, it's managing to smash records and break down walls, break down boundaries every single time I see it. It's impressive. And even though I could not have been in London, England like I originally wanted to for this show, I'm happy that I was at least off work today and was able to catch this show live. We were live on YouTube for this show, and there was over 200 of you on the stream and over 300 of you on TikTok. So thank you all so much for coming through to the stream. I appreciate y'all so much. But y'all not here for me to keep on talking about myself. Let's talk about this show. This show had 9 matches on the main show and 2 on the pre-show, so 11 in total. We're going to go over them all here. If you're watching this on TikTok, it might be a 2-parter. YouTube, it's gonna be a 1-part, so don't worry about it. But let's talk about the pre-show, because there was a lot of actual key points that happened on the pre-show. The first match on 0 Hour was for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships between Aussie Open and MJF and Adam Cole of Better Than You, Baby. I was excited, but like a little concerned, because at the end of the day, Adam Cole and MJF have a reserved main event. So if they get hurt, or if anything happens, the main event is screwed. So Tony Khan had a big risk going into this match, but big risk, high reward. Because we came out of that bad boy with new World Tag Team Champions in MJF and Adam Cole. I would never thought in my life that MJF would be a Ring of Honor champion, but here we are. I also thought there was going to be a turn happening during the match, and I was wrong about that, so shit on my face. But we got to see the double clothesline, which was the big story going into this over several weeks and months, and that's all that really mattered. Now, the match itself, it was kind of a nothing burger. I would give it like 3.25 out of 5 stars. Like, stuff happened, but it was relatively short, and for good reason. It accomplished its goal, and that's really all that matters. 3.25 out of 5 for me. Now, after that, that's when we saw a special appearance from none other than the one and only Mercedes Moné. While there was no All Elite graphic, and Tony Khan did not say that she is signed to AEW, she made her first on-screen appearance. I mean, bro, she got the name graphic. She was shown on screen at least 4 times throughout the entire show. Like, bro, there was no way they would be doing all this for somebody who's not signed. I'm convinced she's got to be signed. Or if she isn't signed, there's something that is being worked out right now, and that she's coming in very soon. Either way, I'm fucking hyped. So many match possibilities that I will talk about in another video. Because also on the 0 Hour, we had the implosion of Jungle Hook for the FTW Championship. The key spot in this match is that Jack Perry came out in like this car, and Hook met him at the ramp, and they started battling it out, and then Hook got basically pile driven on the top of the car, and it led to him giving Jack Perry a Fisherman Buster on top of the windshield of the car, glass splattering all over the place. Jack Perry got cut up as a result. That was the highlight, because they got into the ring, stuff started happening, and Hook tapped him out. And Hook is once again your FTW champion, yay! Except that's not what people were talking about, because all anybody was talking about was this. CM Punk and Jack Perry get into a backstage altercation, a physical confrontation. To catch you up, CM Punk weeks ago had like this backstage thing with Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, about using real glass and that you shouldn't be using real glass. Safety precautions or whatever the case may be. And Jungle Boy didn't agree, but that was really all there was to it. So when Jungle Boy was given the opportunity, this is what he had to say about it on live TV.
Jack Perry, this is right here, and then crushing real glass, crushing the abdomen. Cry me a river.
Now, he could have been talking about anybody, but it's pretty obvious who he was talking about and who that was directed to. So when he went backstage, they got into an altercation. Some sides are saying that CM Punk choked him out. Some sides are saying that he got punched in the face. Jack Perry did. Oh, all sides are saying that Jack Perry basically got punked out. But more or less, it seems like Jack Perry instigated this whole thing. So if there's one teeny little thing we may not give CM Punk shit for, it might be this one. Because while CM Punk is confrontational, we simply cannot put all the blame on him if someone else is instigating these fights. CM Punk getting into a fight, am I shocked? I'm not. going to keep happening until Tony Khan does something, and I don't think he will. As far as the match goes, it was also like good, but like a nothing burger at the same time. So it also gets like 3 stars. Nobody really remembers the match. Everybody's talking about Jungle Boy and CM Punk, so who cares? Now on to tackling the main show. The opening contest, ironically, being CM Punk versus Samoa Joe for the Real World Championship. This match exceeded my expectations. I'm not saying it was a great match, but it was way better than I thought it was going to be. The crowd was hot. Punk was busting out Ranas and doing really cool, intricate storytelling spots with Samoa Joe. You could tell these two were just ring generals in this match, just by watching it. They didn't have to go super fast for you to following the action that was going inside the ring, or outside the ring. CM Punk won with the Pepsi Plunge, and I was pretty satisfied with this match. I would give it 3 3/4 out of 5 stars. Nothing special, but again, a pretty satisfying match. Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, and Hangman Page of the Golden Elite versus Juice Robinson, Konosuke Takeshita, and Jay White of Bullet Club Gold. A match I was really excited for, and a match that really did bang out. Most of the spots in this match were fun. I got to see every interaction I wanted to see in this match, and they were all really good and tasteful. Especially the hard-hitting nature of Konosuke Takeshita and Hangman Page, or Konosuke and Kenny Omega, Omega and Juice, Omega and Jay, Ibushi and Jay. It was all great. The only person who unfortunately did not shine that bright in this match was Kota Ibushi, who I feel like is still really dragging from the injury that he had and has been recuperating from. It's only his 4th match back, and it really does show. He's slower, he's missing some steps. I don't want to say it's sad, but you watch the guy and you know what he's capable of, and you're like, ugh. I'm really not trying to pity him, but it honestly is like a little upsetting watching him wrestle right now. Because he looks like he's either hurting, he's lost, or he just doesn't have it right now. And I hope he gets back to where he was. This match gets 4 stars from me. I was not a fan of the roll-up finish, but Takeshita pinned Omega leading up to the match All Out, and it was, for the most part, a very exciting match. I just really... FTR versus the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team Championships was another great match. I don't think it was as fantastic as the last 2 matches they had. And honestly, towards the end, I felt like they got very overzealous and were just doing a lot of kick-out spots for the sake of it. Because they definitely could have ended the match at 2 different times before the finish happened. But all in all, these 2 teams have amazing tag team cohesion. They know each other's strengths and faults so well, and they're able to exploit them in every facet of this match. Not a legendary battle, but it's worth the praise. So I'm going to give it 4 1/4 out of 5 stars. Probably would have been 5 stars in Tokyo. If you thought Stadium Stampede was going to be absolute insanity and carnage, that's absolutely what it was. It was absolute insanity, carnage, mayhem, chaos, you name it. It was bloody, it was brutality, it was all over the place, it was messy. We saw skewers and forks and screwdrivers and barbed wire and kendo sticks and steel chairs. Everybody was just all over the place, all over the arena. Sue's mom got involved at one point. Now, while I will say I'm starting to feel a little bit sensory overload from having these matches like 2 to 3 times a year with AEW, I wish they would start toning it down or at least lessening them the amount of times we see them. When executed well, you get some bloody art. I don't think I could confidently give this 5 stars because it's not as great as the first Stadium Stampede or the first Anarchy in the Arena, but it's definitely up there. So I'm going to give it 4 3/4 out of 5 stars. I might have to revisit this match and see what I think about it in like a couple weeks. Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm versus Britt Baker versus Saraya for the AEW Women's World Championship. Looking at some reviews online, I feel like a lot of people are review bombing this match because of who won. Spoiler alert, it was Saraya. I mean, are we too shocked about it because it was in the UK? Not too much. I mean, the girl came out to We Will Rock You by Queen, which had to be a shit ton of money to get licensed, with her family by her side like she was coming out to a boxing match. I mean, you had to know she was going to win the match. But I ain't about to sit here and pretend this match is bad. I thought it was pretty fine. There's actually a fun spot in here where, like, Saraya has Toni Storm and, like, her submission, and then Britt Baker hits the curb stomp. And then we're trading, like, pins, and we're trading, like, finisher. I thought there was fun shit in here. I don't know, maybe I liked it more than the average person, but I would give this match, like, 3.5. I enjoyed it. Sue me. Don't really see why Shida won in the first place if we were just going to put the title on Saraya. But hey, it is what it is, I guess. Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage was a pretty, like, okay match for me. I was having connection issues at the time, so there were points where the match would pause for like a solid minute, and then I kind of missed some stuff. But even without the pauses and the glitching and the lag, it was kind of a cool down match for me. Like, we've been having so much action throughout the show, and then we got this coffin match, which, you know, Sting is slower. He's still going, but he's slower, and, you know, Christian Cage is not super fast either. So, you know, they had to kind of tone things down a little bit, and I felt like that was a nice cool down, I guess. Nothing insane happened in this match outside of Darby Allin doing coffin drops onto, like, coffins and just, like, hurting himself generally, unnecessarily. Like, he did a coffin drop onto the coffin to close Swerve Strickland into the coffin when you could have just got down, used your hand, and just shut the door. I think Darby Allin just likes pain. That's what I'm starting to believe now. After 4 years of watching him do this to himself. But man, Sting is still rocking and rolling. He came out to his WCW theme song and did a little homage to TNA Joker Sting with "It's Showtime." I don't know when the end is coming for this man. I feel like every time I feel like, okay, the end is nigh, and then he's still out here rocking and rolling. I'm like, all right, Sting, I see you, bro. I see you. Like, I'm just saying, bro. Like, you've been teaming up with Darby for like 2 years. You don't got any aspirations to go after the AEW World Championship or nothing? Like, or at least the tag team champ. Like, have they even competed for the tag team championships for real? I don't think they have. I think they should. I don't know about winning it, but I think they should. Why the fuck not throw them a tag team match all out? Why not? Maybe that's just me. But as far as this match goes, it's like 3 stars. It merely exists in the ether. It was fine. It happened. It was not bad, but like also not good, not great. It was mid. William Ospreay versus Chris Jericho was Chris Jericho's arguably his best match work rate wise of the last 10 years, possibly. There was zero doubt in my mind that Will Ospreay was going to outpace Jericho in this match. And there were some times where Jericho did look slower, and, you know, there was one point where he did botch, and I was like, oh, yeah, well, 52 will do that to you. But Will Ospreay kept this man centered, and Chris Jericho, I mean, he's the Ocho for a reason. He holds his own. He can still go. Don't sleep on Chris Jericho, bro. He was trucking it during this match at some points. He was taking some heavy-ass hits from Will Ospreay with the goddamn hidden blades. One point, I thought he knocked Jericho's head clean off. Jericho's a trooper, man. He really is. It went for a solid, like, 15 or so minutes, and I didn't feel like Will Ospreay completely danced around Jericho this entire time, so that's really good. Honestly, it's on the better end of the matches that happened on this show tonight. I would give this 4 stars. Nothing too crazy, but enjoyable. Very enjoyable. House of Black versus The Acclaim for the AEW World Trios Championships. A very last-minute match that was thrown on this card. For a last-minute match, it was good. First of all, House of Black had fucking sick attires and masks. Also, Buddy Murphy with the lantern doing the Bray Wyatt homage was just like, almost had me ready to cry. This was a cool-down match for the most part, and it did feel as such, but I felt like it was good. More like, I would say more on the decent side, but, you know, you could definitely say it's good. You can mistake this match for being good if you paid attention way too much. Anthony Bowens assaulting Julia Hart was kind of crazy. But they played it safe, having a gay man doing assaulting to a woman. I saw your AEW. Smart move. Because that definitely wouldn't have worked out otherwise. I'd say this match is like 3.25 out of 5 stars. The more I think about it, it's mainly decent. Better than expected, but mainly decent. And the main event, MJF versus Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship. This match is AEW's personification of long-term storytelling, in some essence, almost like the rival to the Bloodline. From the very beginning, you understand that MJF and Adam Cole are going into this match indifferent on how they feel about one another. Yes, they're tag team partners and they like each other, but the championship is what matters the most to them. MJF wants to retain the championship and their friendship, and Adam Cole wants to become a new champion, and if their friendship kind of fades, then I guess it is what it is for him. Even though he puts out that he is MJF's friend, I get the sense that he would snap if it came to this thing. And we were shown that in this match. These men, in essence, were putting their friendship to the test in this match. And in essence, they failed. They both failed. This motherfucker cheated. He cheated. They were both doing Eddie Guerrero spots. They were both willing to do everything they can to win. MJF got brain-bustered on the steel steps, and Adam Cole was willing to get a count-out victory, though that would not have won him the championship, so I don't know why the fuck he thought that was a good idea. This match was all about the drama. Taking notes from WWE here, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's drama mixed in with the Adam Cole epic that I described in previous videos. Towards the end, they get into a lot of near falls and a lot of the really cool sequences. And then they hit the double clothesline spot and they pinned each other. And I ain't gonna lie, I was about to be super, super angry if that was the finish. And thank God it was not. They did a callback to the very first match where Adam Cole's like, give me 5 more minutes. And MJF's like, no, I'll give us until the end of the fucking night. And the match got restarted and they're rolling each other up and they're still going at it. And it's like, oh, you're wondering what's going to happen. And Roderick Strong comes out. That's adding more, like I said, drama, but it works. Adam Cole attempts to cheat one more time, and MJF rolls him up for the pin. I did not like the fact that this match ended on a roll-up. I'll be 100% honest with you. For all the near falls and all of the edge-of-your-seat action we saw, a roll-up finish was the most underwhelming way to end this match. But I understand why they did it, because it was from the understanding that MJF is willing to sneak out the victory to retain the championship. And at the end of the match, Adam Cole is emotional. MJF is trying to comfort him, and he's not trying to hear it. And MJF's like, oh, so you were all about this championship. You weren't about this friendship. Did you only want to be friends with me to get to this championship? Here, have it. He throws the championship at Adam Cole like, you can have it if you really wanted that badly. Turns his back, and he's like, here, hit me. Just hit me. They had one big-ass segment after the match. Again, taking notes from the bloodline, as they should. But in the end, they decide to hug it out, and they end the show standing tall together. The emotional investment that many fans, including myself, had in this match was palpable. And the match was great, but it wasn't like a tremendous masterpiece by any stretch. And again, the false finish did not like, and then the ending was like, eh. So for me, I can't give it a 5 stars because I felt like the finish was not like the icing on top of the cake. So I got to give this 4 3/4 out of 5 stars, but it's pretty damn close to being 5 stars. If they got a rematch, I'd work on the finish. And if you work on the finish and do everything else and do it better, easily 5 stars in the works. The more I think about it, I don't know if I would even say this is a fantastic show anymore. It was a great show. This show definitely has some faults, and it did not have that many bangers. Some matches did underwhelm, but for the most part, I enjoyed everything. The crowd was energetic and on their feet, and you got the feeling this was a very big show. From the opening gate, this felt like WrestleMania, but it wasn't WrestleMania. It was an AEW show, and you're like, wow, the production's high quality. This was a show like no other. A show I would love to go back and relive, and a show that, again, I got FOMO from. I wish I was there. I'd give this show a high 8 out of 10. Way more positives than negatives. I don't know if I could concretely give it a 9 out of 10, but it's up there. I think this show definitely has its praise. It definitely deserves its flowers. And for their first humongous overseas for the first stadium shows, it's an A+ for me. I can't wait to see what stadium show they run next and how that turns out. That's my review of the show. What did you guys think? Comment down below. Let me know. Like and follow for more.